Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new around here, I'm Be Bad and this is From Corporate to Be Bad. Stay tuned for episode 7. Hey baddies, welcome back to From Corporate to Be Bad. I'm super excited to be bringing you guys today's episode because I feel like I'm going to be bringing some transparency and then also kind of talking about a topic that we're all feeling, but we're a little too uncomfortable to admit that we're feeling that particular way. So we're not having necessarily a conversation about that on a grand scheme of things. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. I guess I'll start with a little bit of a lighter topic, which is starting your days earlier. Now, I told you guys that I'm like a bit of a vampire and that when I first kind of made this transition from my traditional kind of corporate job to me being this full-time creative entrepreneur, I was kind of sleeping during the day and working during the night. It was kind of this strange transition that my body kind of shifted into feeling more comfortable to get work done at like that later, earlier hour. My body would kind of wake me up between like maybe 3 and 6, and I would just knock out work to maybe midday, like around 4 or 5, and then I would go to bed. And then I would wake up and I would start that shit over again. And that shit was actually kind of fun to be like this, ooh, mysterious in the night. I don't know, but it was actually kind of fun. And from there, now kind of my body is on this schedule where it is back. It took a period of time where it was like, okay, this is weird. You need to be awake when the rest of the world is awake or when everyone else is awake, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm kind of in this space where I did really love that hour. And I found that by waking up earlier, which is something I'm sure that you all know, but waking up earlier just has this way of being able to give you not only more time throughout the day, but I feel like it gives you this opportunity to do a lot of the things that you wouldn't necessarily do throughout the day just because you feel like you don't have time to do them. But waking up earlier is creating the time that you need in order to get some of those things done. So things that I'm referencing is maybe working out in the morning, maybe journaling in the morning, meditating, whatever types of things that you like to do in the morning, or just any type of thing that can help you kind of find peace and kind of center your day before you start your day. Maybe it's setting an intention, maybe it's running over your mantra with yourself, just pumping yourself up for your day, whatever that looks like. I feel like starting your day earlier can give us more time to make space for that thing. And I feel like whatever that thing is in particular can probably give us more energy throughout the day and probably make us happier as we tip into and go throughout our days. And then also I found that when you have gotten yourself to a space where like you wake up early and you're able to like knock a lot of the shit off of kind of like, I'm such a checklist girl. Like I feel so vindicated crossing shit off of my checklist. But I use that to say you could probably get to a space where I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. All my shit was done by noon, and now I can use the rest of my day to either get ahead of tomorrow's day or to rest or to just do something that I actually like to do. And I feel like when you do take that time to wake up a little bit earlier, it gives you that boost of like energy. Like, yes, like usually when you cut a little bit close, like, oh shit, like let me keep snoozing, let me get my last minutes of my sleep in. You wake up, you groggy as fuck, you get to work, you don't feel like fucking with nobody, everybody's getting on your nerves, you didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed, but you didn't get enough sleep and you didn't wake up early enough. So now you're just in this pissy ass mood, not because you pissy, it's rubbed off on somebody else. Now they pissed you off, but you didn't realize that your pissiness rubbed off on them. Now we in this big pissy ass circle, but what you could be doing is starting your day earlier so you can wake up on a better note and you can spread light to the people around you. But that's I don't know, that's kind of my take on that. But I really found that waking up earlier, I don't even know what other context to put this shit in, but waking up earlier has just really helped my days out. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you all about and be very transparent with you all is that when you decide to freelance or offer services, it is so, and last week I talked about like knowing everything about your field or knowing everything about your industry. I think that it is so incredibly imperative that you know what the fuck you're doing. And I don't know how else to say, I don't know how to be nicer, cuter about that shit. Like you just must know what the fuck it is that you're doing. So, little anecdotal story, quite a few years ago when I first started Be Bad, I kind of just wanted to use it as a tool for me to kind of simply brand myself. Like, I am BBAD PR. I do public relations. This is my major. This is what I'm trying to break into. What's up? This is what it is. And I kind of wanted it to be a point of difference among myself and other candidates when we're applying for internships and positions after we leave college, etc., so on and so forth. But because of the way that I was kind of branding and marketing myself on social media and just in life in general, I guess, people were asking me if I would freelance. Now, at the time, I'm a college student, just moved to Chicago. I'm in my junior year, I think I was, and I need coin. Coin is always of the essence. So I was just like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, I guess I could whip you up this press release and do this, whatever. But mind you, this is before the time that I had ever interned at an agency. It was concurrent with me having my first kind of bigger box internship experience where I was actually touching things and actually doing things. But of course, I'm still at this space where, what the fuck can I offer you? Like, yes, I'm freelancing. Yes, I'm gonna take your coin. Yes, you're expecting this service from me, but what the fuck do I really have to offer? And so I found myself in a space where I was over promising and under delivering. And as anyone probably knows, in any type of industry, you want to under promise and over deliver, just because that kind of sets this precedence. It doesn't set you too high, it doesn't set you too low, but it's just saying, like, she told me she was gonna give me this, but she gave me this and this and this and this. Not, she told me she was gonna give me this, bitch didn't give me that. And I felt like that was the space that I was at when I was this baby trying to freelance, trying to do all this shit. I felt like I was burning bridges. I felt like I looked at a couple of the people that I was working with and where their brands are now, and to be 1,000, I wish I could have been a part of that shit. I wish I could have really truly helped them out along the way. I wish I would have been able to hold up to my end of the bargain or hold up to my promise. Saying all of that to say, I know that in this age of social media, we have a lot of people who are considering themselves gurus and experts, and I am the tastemaker of this, and I am the thought opinion leader of this, and I am this in this market and this niche, and we gotta bring it back a little bit. We got to bring it back a little bit. When we start putting those types of labels and titles on certain things, and the service that you're getting is not necessarily matching that of your title, now that's starting to put a bad name on all of the people within this space who are doing the same exact thing as you. And people may come to us thinking that they're going to get the same type of service that you've given out, and that may not necessarily be the case. And I feel like it's kind of tainting, I don't want to say tainting millennials or tainting this entrepreneurship culture, but I just want for us to be very conscientious of, I know that you may want it to serve as clickbait. Okay, well, she's a marketing guru. Shit, I got some stuff that I need some marketing help with. Let me holler at her. I get that, but there's a better way to go about it. And sometimes I say too, get your experience in. If you need to volunteer with somebody who's doing it and doing it right, go ahead and volunteer with them. If you need to pick someone's brain, go ahead and pick their brain. If you need to ask for some help, go ahead and ask for some help. Or if you just need to wait a fucking minute before you decide to take somebody's money and not give them a proper service, I think that that's always a good option to go down as well. And that's what the fuck I chose after a certain point in time. Transitioning from being on a team and being able to lean on your entire team when you're working on certain projects. In my most recent position, I had a team, but I was in more of a lead position, so I had the chance to kind of touch and go with a lot of things by myself. But in previous positions, it was just kind of like, not necessarily you the bitch boy on the team, but you the bitch boy because you're the lowest level nigga on the team, and this is what it is, and I need you to do this media list and do this and craft this and blah 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 blah. But it wasn't necessarily like I was the person who was putting all of the pieces of the puzzle together to make that shit happen. I was just the person who was kind of completing small tasks that laddered up to the mission, but not all of the tasks. So I didn't necessarily have a bigger picture or the biggest picture, so I can understand how to do the shit myself. But now I've taken on some different freelance clients, and I've kind of transitioned what I've learned in all of my different jobs up until this point, and then in my bachelor's and both my master's degree, and kind of laddered it up to this bird's eye kind of holistic approach. And then also as I get further in discovering my own brand and doing some different things for myself, I feel like I'm able to truly understand how it is that I could best service a client. Just even thinking about like KPI goals, which are key performance indicators. Like, how are you meeting those? How are you like how are you trending towards those, and then also like how are then those KPI goals going to affect their bottom line or whatever goal or problem they came to you to solve. How does that work? So when you aren't necessarily as well versed or as steeped in that particular industry, or you're not truly a guru or an expert in this industry, you're going to find yourself in a space where you're not able to fulfill all of the needs of the part of the business that you're supposed to be servicing. And that's why I say just either continue to work with other people, continue to polish your craft, continue to find ways to sharpen your tools, or just kind of take a step back and just say, hey, like, freelance is not something I need to be doing right now. I need to wait until I feel like I'm at a certain space, or whatever the fuck that looks like for you. But I just say kind of just reevaluate it, and just be very, what am I trying to say? Be very honest with yourself about what type of services you feel like you could actually provide to someone right now. Because like I said, I feel like I was in a space where I burnt bridges. I feel like I'm very personable, and that's one way that can always kind of pull me through for making sure that I don't completely burn a bridge or shut something down. But I just want to make sure that you all are never in a space where you're offering up a half-cocked service and somebody is not getting what they need from you, and now you kind of blackballed yourself from a certain space, or you're not able to make your money or get your coin or whatever you need to do. So just really wanted to bring that topic to the table for this episode. Now, this is the topic that I have been most, I don't want to say most kind of excited about, because I have to be very vulnerable to talk about this topic, but there's something so powerful in vulnerability that can help other people that I'm okay with that. Not even just this week. This week I've been feeling it, but there are a ton of times where I just feel like my time is never gonna come. And that is one of the most uncomfortable feelings that I ever feel. And I feel like sometimes this thought or idea is accompanied with doubt. And I feel like that doubt creeps in, like, well, what the fuck? Like, well, what the fuck did you think? Did you thought you were just about to be this woo, 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 whatever. I mean, girl, you know you ain't. And it's like, okay, let me shut that thought down, because I am. I just need time, you know? So I just constantly find myself in spaces like, and it's not that I'm coming from a comparative place, but it's like I see you doing your thing, and I'm genuinely in my heart, like I'm one of those people who can genuinely in my heart feel very, very happy for other people without necessarily having reached the milestone that they've reached, or not necessarily having I guess reached the level of success in total that they've necessarily reached. I can still be very, very happy for people, but it's still the idea of seeing other people, like, I don't want to say win, but reach their ultimate glow, that is just like, damn, when is my time gonna come, you know? Like, well, shit, what do I need to do? Or is my time ever gonna come? And it just kind of gets to that space where you're just like I said, that doubt starts creeping in, and you're like, well, that shit ain't never gonna come, or it's never gonna happen for you, sis. Or like, I don't know, I just be thinking in my head like, girl, you tried it, because that shit ain't never gonna happen. But I feel like I'm at a space, I don't want to say I'm at a space now, because I'm not, but I'm trying to get myself to a space where I allow for that to be kind of transitioned and transferred into momentum, and kind of have that transitioned into motivation as well. I use that to be like, okay, let's take a look back at your business, or everything that you're doing across the spectrum of your brand. Let's take a look at everything. Let's analyze it. What could you be doing better? What are some loopholes that you need to be filled? What are some gaps that need to be filled within your business? Are you as consistent as you need to be? Let's talk about consistency. Come on, honey. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because I know you, me, Dupree, and everybody the fuck else are not consistent. So we can't continue to be like, oh my God, I wish I had this thing, when you're not even necessarily putting in all the work that you need to have this thing, right? Now that's one end to it, but the other end is that it's natural to want to be there. I feel like we're in this society of instant gratification, from technology to social media to everything around us. We can have shit in an instant, and I feel like that has fucked up our ability to be realistic about the amount of time it takes to do certain things. So I think not necessarily net, but one of the main things that I really want to leave you all with here today is just, let's all as a collective, because this video is as much for you as it is for me. I'm kind of using this shit as a diary at this point in time to continue to reiterate the things that I've been trying to reteach myself as I've been growing and learning and understand who I am. But one thing that I'm really working on practicing right now is patience. Going back to that instant gratification culture, I feel like I work hard as fuck. Ain't nobody out here outworking me. Why ain't my shit happening? Why ain't my shit cracking? Why ain't my shit popping? And I feel like that all the time, but it's like, sis, are you consistent? Like I said before, sis, are you consistent? Okay, well, let's take a step back as well. Let's look at Issa Rae. Let's look at Viola Davis. Let's look at all these black women who are just now stepping into their glow. Fucking Tracee Ellis Ross has been around for motherfucking forever. I thought she was a queen ages ago. Like, I thought she was goat of all goats long time ago. And it's like, now she's finally stepping into a place where the entire world is recognizing who she is and recognizing her glow and her beauty and just her power and everything that she brings. So it's just like, we can't be, and I don't want to call it arrogant, but I guess it can be a form or a sense of arrogance, but we can't be arrogant enough to think that since we are just so fucking cold, like our shit must happen right the fuck now. We can't do that, y'all. We gotta strip ourselves of that. We gotta put in our time. We gotta practice patience. We must practice patience. We must give ourselves time too. One thing that I've kind of been telling myself as well is that, I think I said this back in a couple of episodes ago about like my dreamers and my innovators, like kind of conditioning your mind to, yes, we can still think and yes, we can still dream, but everything that we dream up doesn't need to be done right now. And that a lot of the things that we may envision for us to be doing as careers or projects, etc., we can wait until we are better suited as people to take on what those projects are. There are so many different things, ones in which I will not name because I'm just very like hush hush when it comes down to like my goals and like the shit that I'm actually trying to do. It's no shade. But I have so much shit that I feel like I want to do that even if I tried to do it right now, who I am right now, the level of skill and just the space that I'm at in my life, I wouldn't be able to breathe as much justice into those projects as I know that I will once I've gone down the line of gaining skills in different areas from this hodgepodge life that I feel like I'm about to be living. We don't necessarily always have to be doing everything right the fuck now, and we can't expect for everything to just pop off or take off right now. Like, we just really have to be in a space where we are practicing our patience. And then also I would be remiss without saying we need to start to question our motives as well. If we're wanting something so quickly, why do we want it? And I feel like I didn't necessarily have that conversation with me because I feel like I have based everything about my brand within my purpose, which of course, as I've always told y'all, is to help people. And I feel like I've even narrowed that down and tailored that down even more to help black women specifically actualize their best selves. And I feel like that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So for me, that feels timeless. It doesn't feel like there's a specific time that shit has to happen, because it can happen now. It can continue to happen in 10 years. It can continue to happen in 25. I mean, whatever the fuck the case may be, whatever that looks like. I feel like I can continue to be doing that. So there's not necessarily a rush for the world. While I do feel like I wish that all black women could wake up and actualize their best selves, or just actualize who they are like tonight, last night. So there is that sort of an immediacy for it. And it does feel really like there's some urgency on that for me. But in terms of like the actual goal itself and me wanting to reach that really quickly, there's not any immediacy on me like being able to reach tons and tons of people. And I don't even know if I've had this conversation with you all, but I feel like the space that I'm really trying to get to, I feel like I'm at a space right now, and I have been for the past 2, 3, 4-ish years or so, where so many young black girls look up to me and they tell me constantly, oh my God, like you have inspired me to do this, or you have helped me to actualize this about myself, or you have helped me to see a field that I didn't know anything about. So saying all of that to say, if with the reach that I've had in the past and the reach that I have right now, if I'm able to have that kind of effect on people, what kind of effect, how many people can I actually help? How many lives can I touch? How many lives can I change if I'm able to reach a ton more people? So for me, when I talk about elevating and growing, I'm talking about being able to grow my reach to a wider audience so that I can help more people and so that more Black women can actualize their best selves. So just to put a bow on all this shit, I just really want y'all to practice patience, and also don't be afraid to question yourselves and check yourself. Like, I'm trying to do this shit right now, like, and I know I'm not putting in all the work that I need to in order to even get to this space where I feel like I'm trying to be at in my end game. So why is it exactly am I trying to get to this space so quickly? What is keeping me feeling like I need to be doing X, Y to the Z? I feel like we need to be having those conversations with ourselves. Keep yourself in check. You don't need other people to check you. Check yourself. Check yourself. and figure out what's actually going on. And if it's like, sis, okay, well, I'm on some bullshit and I really just want to look cool and I want to be able to buy me a new ass and I want to be able to get me some free shit on Instagram and I want to put up an ad with me and this teeth whitener, whatever, and I'm trying to get these coins, I'm trying to be cute. You can reevaluate that shit, or just give yourself a little bit of patience. Like, if that's really your goal, who am I and anybody else to judge if that's your damn goal? Like, if that's what you want to do, just give yourself a little bit more time. Maybe you're not popping enough. Maybe you need to go to the places where the people be popping. Maybe you need to ask one of the girls who are doing the shit on Instagram right now how they get to the space they at right now. Maybe you need to bag you a new nigga. I mean, you know, whatever the case may be, sis. Like, just evaluate her, but check yourself. Check yourself. I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'll see you on next week's episode of From Corporate to Be Bad. And thank you so much for tuning in to all my loyal and faithful baddies. If this is your first time, I probably gave you an earful tonight. But if you did enjoy that, go ahead and like it. And please subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm Be Bad. And I'll see y'all next week.